Hello everyone, and welcome to Visual Effects 101 Instructional Design Plan. So what is the learner, performance, and context? Undergraduate film students are not adequately prepared to bring visual effects scenes to life. The system of interest for this class is going to be centered around 5 to 15 students who are going to understand, analyze, and apply visual effects techniques. The learner's context relates to the bigger environment by teaching them how to work in the larger film industry, work with other people, and be resourceful for when visual effects problems arise. The needs. The students do not remember the proper terminology when communicating their needs to create a visual effect. Students are unable to open a visual effects program and look confused when they try to locate and recognize icons. The students do not understand any aspects of film, lighting, or sound, and do not know how to set up a green screen. The goals. Number 1. Students will have an effective understanding of the post-production process. This is important because a visual effects artist in a low-budget film may do many of the post-production jobs like film editing that normally they would never do in a big-budget film production. Number 2. Students will understand the subtle difference in field between special and visual effects because they lack knowledge of industry jargon. This is important because when students walk onto a real film set, they will be expected to comprehend what people are talking about, or they will slow down production. Number 3. Students will be able to operate within a visual effects environment utilized for their computer. This is important because this is where the majority of time will be spent for a visual effects student or producer. Number 4. Students will properly create and light a green screen in order to create a clear background for effects. This is important because many visual effects are done either on a clean background or a green screen. Number 5. Students will conceptualize scripts into a visual format for a variety of scenarios. This is important because only certain portions of a script will be turned into a visual effect. Number 6. Students will formulate alone and with others to bring a film scene to completion. This is important because when working in the real world, they may be expected to either work by themselves or within units. The first method of collecting data is from students doing their homework every week. This will be a one-page paper on what they learned from the reading. The second method of collecting data is discussion boards in which they will talk about the higher level concepts of post-production and visual effects. The third method of collecting data is from students taking their midterm quiz and final exam dealing with industry jargon. The fourth method of collecting data is by students turning in, and presenting both a solo and group project, and this is the content. The ramp of higher learning is beginner. Students will come to understand visual effects and post-production jargon. Intermediate, students will be able to identify and utilize visual effects and film software. Expert, students will be able to read or create a script and bring the visual effects scene to life. Learners 1. An assessment of prior knowledge should be taken on the introduction discussion board and on the first class. This includes the knowledge of visual effects programs, common equipment setups for film, and being able to read a script. Much of the first lecture should focus on prior misconceptions the general public has about visual effects industry, as well as the general history of how special effects came to be. Many of our students will be comfortable with computers, but for those who aren't, there are ways for them to learn as well as a host of other positions that the production needs in order to create a film visual effects project. A student's education and ability level will impact the instruction by offering them a ramp in which they can gain knowledge and then apply that towards a project. Learners 2. Assessing attitudes towards content, delivery system, motivations, etc. will be evaluated by 2 different methods within the design plan. 1 via the discussion board in which students can give their input, 2 from input given by the students as they work in teams to achieve their goals. Discussion boards should be built not only based on relevant content, but to explore new avenues in which students can be creative. Learners 3. Based on a student's learning preference, the students will be able to differentiate themselves on either the more technical, the more creative, and the more social, each offering preferences and activities like filming behind the camera, editing the audio, and directing the production. The learner's attention can be maintained by offering them challenges that aren't out of their skill level. Filmmaking and the visual effects process can be a very cool thing for students to learn with the right design plan. Learners 4. Although we do need traditional PowerPoints and textbooks to anchor us down as a foundation, the majority of the class is hands-on in a way to keep a student's attention, offer them ways of contributing and applying knowledge. A single teacher will be used as a supervisor. However, Power Aids can be useful if certain classrooms swell to students of 30 or more. The classroom will preferably be in studio where students can shoot, film on location, and in a computer lab where they can work with visual software. Objectives. Students will be able to remember film industry jargon. Students will be able to understand the post-production process. Students will be able to utilize visual effects software. Students will be able to analyze a movie script. Students will be able to assemble a green screen and proper lighting. Assessment 1. Entry-level skills will be tested for the first day with a simple instructional strategy of asking the students what they know about the film industry in one page. If the student does not possess these entry-level skills, then two things should happen. 1. These students should be instructed to pay close attention to the beginning 3 chapters of the textbook, where they cover the basics of film production, which may be review for other students. And 2, if possible, they should be placed into groups with more adept students and periodically checked up on to see if they are acquiring knowledge. Assessments 2. A student's understanding of the film industry will be assessed in 2 ways. 1. There will be both a midterm and final exam, which will test to see how much of the post-production jargon students are remembering and understanding. Secondly, students will demonstrate and apply knowledge of their skill set by creating their own visual effects and working with a group to create another. Instructional strategy 1. Students will be grouped into small units of 3 and 4, depending on class size, so they can complete a film project. The actual deliverable will be submitted in an MP4 format, which can be uploaded to the internet and viewed as a video. The instructional strategies will place the students in situations in which they must use the acquired knowledge of the post-production process. Instructional strategy 2. The main separation in the class is for those who enjoy working with others and those who like to work by themselves. In this manner, the first few modules of class are focused on teaching students the skill sets. The next set are then more advanced skills that push students to test their boundaries. Students will first be given practice while having the teacher's assistance. By the second half of the class, students should be comfortable enough in which to freely use the studio when they develop their final projects. Feedback should be given back and forth in a few ways. First, discussion boards should be built so that students can freely question the teachers. Second, students should be able to take a survey at the end of the class in which they'll be able to communicate what they like and dislike. Finally, the teachers will often give constructive feedback at the end of each assignment to allow students to know what they did wrong and what they did right. The instructional plan is appropriate for learners and the objectives for this lesson because it takes students from start to finish of the post-production film process. This affects me as a card game that students will play at the end of each class until one player gets the correct answer. This instructional strategy will be used to teach film students the technical difference between the special effects and visual effects industry. The teacher first creates a set of cards that explain multiple different types of scenarios being worked on for a film project. For example, a scale-sized miniature of New York City will be built. Would be a special effect, while an actor wearing a motion capture suit in order to track their movements would be an example of a visual effect. This instructional strategy is a simple way for teachers to gauge how much students are understanding the core concepts of the field they are learning. The instructional materials. The materials that we need for the goal to be completed would be the studio, or somewhere big enough to film, a green screen, a lighting setup, a camera, a computer lab, and the textbook. Assessments. Assessments should come from the teacher and be based on the content of the textbook. Assessments should be created for the midterm and final exam, as well as for both the visual effects projects the students create. The teacher will develop the assessments and tailor them as needed. The assessments can be looked at as a collaborative process, and the teacher will be using a visual effects guide and the internet to create them. Reflection on Plan 1. I will use a variety of methods in order to determine if my plan is successful. First, the midterm and the final exam should be evaluated how well the students are remembering and understanding industry jargon. Next, the success, completion, and quality of the final solo and group projects should inform how to adjust for the next class. Finally, there should always be a teacher or class evaluation at the end of the semester, which students can give direct feedback on what they liked or disliked. Reflection on Plan 2. My plan of action, if unsuccessful, will be to adjust, rework, and redesign the entire sections as needed. Although some plans work on paper, they don't always work applied in classroom or in the real world. Thus, instructional strategies, quiz questions, and lectures should always be requalified and evaluated at the end of class. Conclusion. Overall, I think that the design plan accomplishes the goal of creating a variety of real-world situations in which the students works alone in a group that assesses their knowledge of the field. I believe that my design plan is beneficial to my learners by taking them on a journey of lower processes like understanding and remembering the industry jargon to higher processes of application like setting up a green screen and editing a background. What I have learned from carrying out the instructional design process is that by carefully organizing one's thoughts 1 week at a time, we're able to create something that wouldn't seem possible at the beginning.